everyone. In case you don't know me, or in case it's been a long time since I saw you, I'm Lindsay from Super Secret Powers and from Draco Wolf. But now let me mute my phone here because I always forget to do that. There we go. So now I can talk to you without too many distractions on my part. Now, if you did know me in the past, I know that sounds funny. I have done coaching and courses and sessions for people, intuitive from a healing place, and that has not changed per se. But this huge transition point that has been these last 2, 3 years for me has really brought a lot of different skill sets, a lot of, let's say, different perspective on where my work had been and where it needs to be, and it needs to be growing into the future. So today we're going to talk about some power stuff, and I know I'm probably coming across as a little like, oh, why am I listening to her about power? You know, she sounds like all soft and stuff. But I do come from this place where power doesn't have to be all fire and brimstone. But we can't be afraid to bring the fire and brimstone when we need it, when we need to give ourselves a kick in the ass, when we need to give the situation that we're in a kick in the ass. I am not afraid to bring my power when it's needed, but I'm also not afraid to show my, softer side, to show the side that knows that there are people out there who are experiencing things that I experience, and who need to feel something different than the way they have been using their power. Because if you're in this place where you're becoming desperate, where you are feeling that feeling that nothing ever seems to change, that everything seems to fall apart, this message is for you. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur who is seeing maybe a trend in our sales year, where this is a slump month, and you're beginning to take it so personally that you think it's you. Well, we want you to know a couple things about that. Like, number one, this is a socialization trait that has been taught to women, where they will not continue something if it is not perfect or good enough in a given moment. They will give up sooner than they will apply their power to reach a solution in this moment for next week, to make the choices they need to make to get the ball rolling now in a new and different way, because you've reached some sort of point where you feel like it's an obstacle, or you feel like the energy has gone dead, or you feel like you are no longer in your power because the answer isn't just right there. And now part of the thing that I'm doing differently here is, yes, I mean, this message is channeled. I've kind of talked to my guides back and forth about this, for a good hour or two even before I got on. Just because we're kind of out of practice. We are coming to this place where we need to come to a much more grounded and real connection again. So if my voice changes, if I take on an accent, please don't think I'm trying to be fake. This is just simply how my messages come through, because they come through more spoken word. And what I'm experiencing when I'm doing a channeling is that I kind of step aside and someone stands here and we speak together to you. So what we want you to know right now, what we want you to remember right now, is that you are a confluence point. You as a being, as a point of light in your 3D world, is just a small extension of 1,000 voices, 1,000 experiences, 1,000 points of knowledge and power. And all that is available to you when you step back into your remembering of who you are. Because who you are is not your mind. Who you are is not the worry you might be experiencing. Who you are is not the logical one thing should come before the other sort of thinking. What you do need to do is when you can sit back and remember the more of who you are, and when you feel that sense of power returning to you in this here and now. So let's take that deep breath. Let us remember that even in this very physical lifetime right now, you have 20, 30, 40, 50 years of experiences and successes to build from, to draw from. But even more than that, you have lifetimes of lessons, lifetimes of powerful choice points from which you can learn and draw from. And it may not make all sense, all perfect, logical, working sense to your human mind right now, but there is a theme. And as you come back into that power, you will know where that theme is. Why is it that I shy away from my power? Why is it that I take my own soul self so for granted? And what we want you to know, based on those past experiences right now, is that the world has changed. The world around your being has changed from the last time it might have been here, from even 5 minutes ago. For in this space where you are more than who you are, time is irrelevant. And the only thing that is relevant is the choice you make to bring action into your next 5 minutes. Does it have to be the action that solves everything? Of course not. You have suffered a point of a blip, of disconnection from who you thought you were in your waking world, and it has caused doubt. And when we look at that situation from our very deep and very high perspective, for we do not hold the same very 3D perspective as you do, we see people, we see points of light, we see souls, we see points of action and fire in this world that suddenly turn inward on themselves and almost begin attacking themselves with their own energy for their failures, for their perceptions about how perfect or imperfect or worthy or any of these strange thoughts. Because you could not instantly manifest something, even us, even we who are not of your world, even we do not instantly manifest something in this way that seems to be within your mainstream kind of thought wanderings. Even we need time to build our energy and fine-tune our intentions and to bring forward the correct structure that will support and nourish the essential essence of what we are doing, our fire, so to speak. And you have so much available to you in this here and now, for you have the past. You have the past of others who are part of your soul collective. You have, of course, your guides. And you have a future where you can make choices that were not available to past selves in other times and other places. You have more choice now than you have ever had before. And yes, it might seem overwhelming, but it comes back to where you and your power and your love and your mojo, so to speak, Lindsay likes that word, where it lies for you, and what wants to come out again. For it does. And part of that inward attacking nature is that you cannot easily let it come out again. For you have judged that your efforts are not good enough or something was broken. But we do not stop speaking just because we have spoken or misspoken a word or spoken a word that isn't right for the situation. We correct and we move and we deepen in our experience of what we want to bring out with that one word, that expression. It is as simple as that, but also so deep that it will move you in a different way. And we must be brave enough to continue to find that way in which it wants to come out, that way in which we know, especially for entrepreneurs, will receive reaction and attention from the people we seek to make relationship with transaction, with service, with sessions, with whatever it is that you are choosing to sell at this point. And we want to leave you with that. And we want you to experience this openness and expansiveness of self as it can come through. For in the end, especially for most spiritual entrepreneurs, Lindsay's brain puts in there, that you really aren't doing this just for the money. And yes, the money situation might be tight in the moment, but you are doing this because you know the world needs it. You need it, and therefore the world needs it. It is as simple reflection as that. So now, if you are experiencing these tight points where you are feeling desperate, it is the time to sink into that bigger self and to find what it is that wants to come out even more, to bring your fire, to use your power in a bigger way. Not necessarily in doing more, for power does not necessarily mean you need to write more emails or more posts. Perhaps having more power will give you more clarity to write a post in a different way that will speak to the person on a deeper level. But you can only do that by returning to a place of more wholeness with your multiplicity. And that is all we ever wish for you. For it is your birthright, and in a sense your responsibility, and duty even, to be your multiplicity while living where you are, and choosing what choices you can choose in this moment. What is it? What is it really that is stopping you, that is preventing you from taking this outward spiral, or this inward spiral, and making it an outward spiral? This inward spiral of mistrust in self, of frustration, of overwhelm, and simply saying, here's who I am in this moment, and here's what I can offer you. In love, in trust, even in wild ecstasy, because you simply love whatever it is that you're doing, and what it does for other people. Even something as simple as jewelry does something for other people. The symbols you create, the colors you use, the intention you use in your crafting, this all makes others feel good and be able to connect to their own spirit, their own power, because it will mean something to them. And it is very exciting to be able to give just that little piece of yourself to them, that little piece of your energy and your working and your time and attention to somebody else, so they can then cherish that and what it reflects within them. And that power of expression comes from your multiplicity. It comes from who you are, beyond just the person who has to go eat lunch, or the person who is now getting ready to prepare for dinner, or has to go shopping. It is always there because it is always you. But coming back to that moment where you can be in alignment with it, live in joy and in pleasure with it, makes all the difference to your living experience with what you are doing in this world. Oh. Okay. That went on for a while. But if anybody has any questions, please go ahead. You can type them in the comments, and I will either get back to them here now if you're on with me, or I can answer them later when I see them. I will check back on this for the next half hour or so. I do want to add that I am taking sessions at this point. I'm only have one session available as I'm working through where this all needs to go for me, and that is a return to your power session. And it is a session where I will hold space so that the guides can come through and speak to you about where your choice point is right now, and what's going to get you in action, and what's going to get you back into your power and acting from that place of, well, alignment with of who you are, so that you can begin to unravel some of the energies that have been stopping you and the situations that you saw perhaps as a stopping point, but really are actual choice points to a, well, to get beyond where you are, but to get to the next level in a sense. Choice points to deepen your experience in this world as a spiritual being. So if you have been feeling like you just you don't know where you want to go, you're feeling directionless, or you're feeling stop or quote unquote stuck, PM me and we'll talk about when we can set up a session. I will also put the link down if you want to read more about it, because I do talk a little bit about, like, what to expect with guides and whatnot and how the session is run. All right, I will be seeing you soon. I just don't know when yet, 'cause I don't have a schedule yet. Probably I'm going to shoot for next Wednesday. I'm getting that link for you guys. All right. But if you have any specific questions or anything you might like a little bit of guidance around, just let me know. You can let me know in the comments or you can PM me. All right. Have a beautiful day.